Okay, we are still stemming off of this pea crab article, and that is P as in PEA, the vegetable? What is a pea? No, not pea crab, but auto search. Ugh. Now I just have PC. P code came up. Um, it is a vegetable. Okay. Whew. Sometimes you don't know if it's a vegetable or a legume. They get to you. Okay. I I know that there are a couple that I wanted to do, a couple yet, but I really need to just kind of be wrapping up this pea crab thing. I want to see what yeah, sea squirts. This is a long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm probably going to skim around a little bit. So if you want to learn, if you want to read the entire thing, be a pro on Tunicate. Well, at that point, you'd have to go to the resources and read some actual scholarly journals. DOI. But yeah, let's get into this. Uh, Darn it, they don't call it a sea squirt anymore. They call it a tunicate. Tunicata. Tunicata? Tunicata. Okay. Oh no, that's tunicata. Tuni tunicata. Tunicata. Okay, that's singular tunicate. Cool. Let's get in. Sorry. A tunicate is a marine invertebrate animal, a member of the subphylum Tunicata. It is part of the Chordata, a phylum which includes all animals with dorsal nerve cords and notochords, including vertebrae. Notochords is an elastic rod-like structure found in many deuteriostomal animals. Any species that has a notochord at any stage of its life cycle is, by definition, a chordate. Dorsal nerve cords. Um, I don't feel like that would actually teach me anything there. Cool. So the subphylum was at one time called Urochordata, and the term urochordates is still sometimes used for these animals. They are the only chordates that have lost their myomeric segmentation, with the possible exception of the serration of the gill slits, have lost their myomeric segmentation. Myomeres are blocks of skeletal muscle tissue arranged in sequence commonly found in aquatic chordates. Myomeres are separated from adjacent myomeres by connective fascia, myosepta, and most easily seen in larval fishes or in the ulm. What is the ulm? Okay, here we got pictures of fish. Ulm or Proteus is an aquatic salamander. Oh my god. This is what happens when you get in frickin' Wikipedia holes. Look at these things. Look at their little feet. They're so gross. That looks like it's gonna crawl into my belly button and ruin my life. Oh, it's starting to look like the shoot, what's it called? Axolotl. Okay, yeah. Darn freaking gosh darn Wikipedia holes. Real quick, myomere, skeletal tissue, connective fascia, and we've got these pictures of fish. Nope, it's a fillet of an iridescent shark. What? Zigzag of myomeres. So is the white part there the myomere? Fillet of salmon showing zigzag of myomeres. Okay, yeah, so the white must be a myomere. Okay, we're learning something. We're learning something. If you're not looking, if you can, like if you're podcasting or whatever, if you can imagine a fillet of salmon, it's cut, you have the pinkish orange salmon fillet, but there are the white lines. Those are, to the best of my knowledge, the myomere. And just to say again the definition officially, myomeres are blocks of skeletal muscle tissue arranged in sequence commonly found in aquatic chordates. Myomeres are separated from adjacent myomeres by connective fascia, which I guess is these the long lines running the length of the fillet. Pardon me. And so those are the fascia, and these squiggly ones are the myomere. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm not going to get too far into that, but that is good to know. Woo-wee! This is going to be a heavy, heavy article, even not going into it too far. Mm-hmm. So they are the only chordates that have lost their myomeric segmentation. So the tunicate, the sea squirt, does not have myomeres. The only chordate that has lost the myomeric segmentation, with the possible exception of the serration of the gill slits. Don't know what that means. However, doliolids still display segmentation of the muscle bands. What's a doliolid? That doesn't look like it's going to help very much. Okay, nope, it's not gonna. We're not getting into that. Not getting into it. Some tunicates live as solitary individuals, but others replicate by budding or become colonies. Each unit being known as a zooid. I hope I say that right. A zooid is a single animal that is part of a colonial animal. The lifestyle has been adopted by animals from separate, unrelated taxa. Okay, we're not getting too far into that either. They are marine filter feeders. This is the tunicate. Marine filter feeders with a water-filled sac-like body structure and two tubular openings known as siphons, through which they draw in and expel water. During their respiration and feeding, they take in water through the incurrent or inhalant siphon and expel the filtered water through the excurrent or exhalant siphon. Adult Ascidian tunicates, don't know what that means. Adult Ascidian tunicates are sessile, I've heard that before. Um, Immobile, so sessile, are sessile. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it means that they lack locomotion, self-locomotion, that is. Immobile and permanently attached to rocks or other hard surfaces on the ocean floor. Thaliaceans, Thaliaceans, which it says are pyrosomes, doliolids, and salps, are larvaceans. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, and larvaceans. Let me start this sentence over. Hold on, I gotta stop my pizza bite. Sorry. You know how to deal with pizza bites. You gotta stop them before they start to push all of their expelled water through the excurrent siphon to relate it to this article. Okay, so thaliacines and larvacin, I don't know. On the other hand, swim in the pelagic, I've heard that word in my fossil record course, in the pelagic zone of the sea as adults. Okay, so it's just juxtaposing that adult Ascidian tunicates are immobile, attached to the ocean floor, but these other similar creatures, I guess, similar creatures, swim in the pelagic zone of the sea when they're adults, which I forget exactly. Here, this is a good picture. So we have hadopelagic, that's like a cavern or an abyss. The abyssopelagic, whoopsie, which is real. Stop it. We're really far down. Bathopelagic, mesopelagic, epipelagic. I thought I had heard different breakdown than that. Okay, this is a whole that's a whole different uh, thing to read there. Very much information. I don't see why this last sentence was included here. The one that I've been stuck on for the past 5 minutes. That thaliacines and larvacines are swim in the pelagic zone. I don't see why that's important. At least not for this. Like include that on their own thing. But that's just unnecessarily complicating this article. Various species of ascidians, commonly known as the ascidians or sea squirts. So various species of ascidians. Wait, so okay, I'm sorry. I need to keep reading. Of ascidians, the most well-known class of tunicates. There we go. That's answering what I was about to ask. So ascidians are a class of tunicates. So tunicates, they are just a subphylum. They're not a species. They are a subphylum. Okay. Various species of ascidians. So ascidian is like the group, I guess. They're the class. And then their species. There are 2,300 species of ascidians. My God, look at all this information. Oh, people eating it. Sea pineapple. Oh yeah, served raw as sashimi. I wonder if that tastes good. I'm not convinced. A sea squirt. Look at that dude with a caterpillar on him, or a sea slug. I think, right? Nudibranch. Man, they're so pretty. Mm-mm. Sorry. Okay, I need to get back on track. This is how it goes. Man, they're so colorful. I wonder if you can buy their shell. If these are a calcified critter. Okay, so I think I've made the mistake of looking at too large of a group. But whatever, we're here anyway. You guys, if you are listening, you're listening this far. So let me just keep going. So various species of ascidians, the most well-known class of tunicates, are commonly known as sea squirts. That's what I wanted to be reading. I thought I clicked sea squirt. Like didn't my link wasn't my link sea squirt? Yeah, my link that I clicked was sea squirt, but it put me on the larger subphylum. Okay, so those guys commonly known as sea squirts, sea pork, sea livers, or sea tulips. Okay. Um, Cool, that's it. The earliest probable species of tunicate appears in the fossil record in the early Cambrian period. Despite their simple appearance and very different adult form, their close relationship to the vertebrae is evidenced by the fact that during their mobile larval stage, they possess a notochord or stiffening rod and resemble a tadpole. Their name derives from their unique outer covering or tunic, which is formed from proteins and carbohydrates and acts as an exoskeleton. In some species, it is thin, translucent, and gelatinous, while in others, it is thick, tough, and stiff. Okay, I'm going to skim through this part. Taxonomy. About 3,000 species of tunicate exist in the world's oceans, living mostly in shallow waters. The most numerous group is the ascidians. Fewer than 100 species of these are found at depths greater than 200 meters. Some are solitary animals, leading a sessile existence, attached to the seabed, but others are colonial and a few are pelagic. Um, some are supported by a stalk, but most are attached directly to a substrate, which may be rock, shell, coral, seaweed, mangrove root, dock, piling, or ship's hull. They are found in a range of solid or translucent colors and may resemble seeds, grapes, peaches, barrels, bottles. One of the largest is a stalked sea tulip, Pyrrha pachydermatina, which can grow to over a meter tall. Oh my goodness, he looks funky. Look at that thing. Looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Maybe that's where we got the inspiration. Cool. Okay, I'm going to skip through the classification here, but let you see some pictures. This is the Komodo National Park sea squirt, the Polycarpa aurata. They are so fascinating. What's like the actual... Yeah, look at the detail up close. Huh. I'll be curious to hear how these guys reproduce. Wait, didn't it say that? Am I thinking of the plant, the cordgrass from earlier, or let's see, how do they? Okay, let's just keep reading. Or sorry, here's a couple more pictures. Clavelina muluxensis, the bluebell tunicate. Yeah, they're quite remarkable looking as well. And Botraloidus violaceus, showing oral tentacles at openings of buccal siphons. So they have tentacles in there. Let me see if I can get this better quality. Not really. Yeah, I guess those are the tentacles at the buccal something. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Stop. Oh my gosh, stop being zoomed in. Okay, cool. So we're going to skip over the classification real quick in the fossil record. Undisputed fossils of tunicates are rare. The best known are earliest unequivocally identified species. Sorry, the best known and earliest unequivocally identified species is Shankoclava Shankoclava shankoense, Shankoclava shankoense, from the Lower Cambrian Maotianshan Shale at Shanko Village, Anning, near Kunming, South China. Okay. I'm sure to somebody that means a lot. Not to me, though. There is also common biomuration. There is also a common biomuration. Bioimmuration. A fossil, no, okay, that just links to fossils. Of a possible tunicate found in Upper Ordovician Birozoan skeletons of the upper Midwestern United States. A well-preserved Cambrian fossil, Megasiphon thylacos, shows that the tunicate basic body design had already been established 500 million years ago. And here we have star-shaped holes of Calatocala velata in the upper Ordovician bryozoan may represent a tunicate preserved by bioimmuration in the bryozoan skeleton. So that's a lot of stuff that makes more sense to geologists and archaeologists and maybe biologists, people that know a lot about fossils. Bioimmuration, it looks like it's just, or bioimmuration, it's just, oh no, here it linked us to this part of the fossil thing. Let's read this real quick. Bioimmuration occurs, and I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, occurs when a skeletal organism overgrows or otherwise subsumes another organism, preserving the latter or an impression of it within the skeleton. Usually it is a sessile skeletal organism, such as a bryozoan or an oyster, which grows along a substrate, covering other sessile sclerobionts? Sclerobionts? I don't know. Sometimes the bioimmured organism is soft-bodied and is then preserved in negative relief as a kind of external mold. There are also cases where an organism settles on top of a living skeletal organism that grows upwards, preserving the settler in its skeleton. Bioimmuration is known in the fossil record from the Ordovician to the recent. Ordovician. Okay, so that makes enough sense. Yeah, there's also a common bioimmuration of a possible tunicate found in Upper Ordovician bryozoan skeletons. Darn it, I accidentally clicked that. I need to decrease the sensitivity of my touchpad. Okay, we have to move on. 500 million years ago. Enigmatic species found. Fossils of tunicates are rare because their bodies decay soon after death, but in some tunicate families, microscopic spicules are present which may be preserved as microfossils. These spicules have occasionally been found in Jurassic and later rocks, but as few paleontologists are familiar with them, they may have been mistaken for sponge spicules. And a spicule, or however you say it, are structural elements found in most sponges. The meshing of many spicules serve as the sponge's skeleton, and thus it provides structural support against predators. In Permian and Triassic, there were also forms of a calcareous exoskeleton. That's the word I was looking for, calcareous exoskeleton. At first, they were mistaken for corals. Okay, a multi-taxon molecular study in 2010 proposed that sea squirts are descended from a hybrid between chordate and a protozoan ancestor before the divergence of panarthropods and nematodes. This study was based on a quartet partitioning designed to reveal horizontal gene transfer events among metazoan phyla. Okay, that is getting too heady for me. Oh, and my doggy really wants to go outside, so give me 1 second. Come on, dog. Okie doke. The dog is outside, the pizza rolls are in hand. This article, I just need to be done with it. This is getting too complicated. Yeah, let me see if there's anything easily digestible here. The anatomy, I'll just read the first paragraph of this anatomy. Body form. Colonies of tunicates occur in a range of forms and vary in the degree to which individual organisms, known as zooids, integrate with one another. Now, this is also going to be too complicated for me. Not doing it. Feeding, sure. Nearly all adult tunicates are suspension feedings. The larval form usually does not feed, capturing planktonic particles by filtering seawater through their bodies. Ascidians are typical in their digestive processes, but other tunicates have similar systems. Water is drawn into the body through the buccal siphon by the action of cilia lining the gill slits. To obtain enough food, an average ascidian needs to process 1 body volume of water per second. Woo! This is drawn through a net lining in the pharynx, which is being continuously secreted by the endostyle. The net is made of sticky mucus threads with holes about a half a micrometer in diameter, which can trap planktonic particles, including bacteria. The net is rolled up on the dorsal side of the pharynx, and it and the trapped particles are drawn into the esophagus. The gut is U-shaped and also ciliated to move the contents along. The stomach is an enlarged region at the lowest part of the U-bend. Here, digestive enzymes are secreted and a pyloric gland adds further secretions. After digestion, the food is moved on through the intestine, where absorption takes place. And the rectum, where undigested remains are formed into fecal pellets or strings. The anus opens into the dorsal or cloacal part of the parabranchial cavity near the atrial siphon. Here, the feces are caught up by the constant stream of water, which carries the waste to the exterior. The animal orientates? I thought it was just orients. Okay. Orientates itself to the current in such a way that the buccal siphon is always upstream and does not draw in contaminated water. Some ascidians that live on soft sediments are detritivores. Okay, obtain nutrients by consuming detritus. Cool, like a worm. A few deepwater species, such as Mehucares, are sit and wait predators, trapping tiny crustacea, nematodes, and other small invertebrates with the muscular lobes which surround their buccal siphons. Okay, we're going to move on to the life cycle really quick. Ascidians are almost all hermaphrodites, right? Yeah. Sexually reproducing organism. Look at those snails go at it. Oh, shouldn't watch that. Are almost all hermaphrodites, and each has a single ovary and testes, either near the gut or on the body wall. In some solitary species, sperm and eggs are shed into the sea, and the larvae. What? Oh, and the larvae are planktonic. Sorry, my eyes are going dull because I read that as and planktonic. Sorry, sperm and eggs are shed into the sea, and the larvae are planktonic. In others, especially colonial species, sperm is released into the water and drawn into the atria of other individuals with the incoming water current. Fertilization takes place here, and the eggs are brooded through their early developmental stages. Some larval forms appear very much like primitive chordates with a notochord, stiffening rod, and superficially resemble small tadpoles. These swim by undulations of the tail and may have a simple eye, an ocellus, o- oculus, ocellus, and a balancing organ, a statocyst. When sufficiently developed, the larva of the sessile species finds a suitable rock and cements itself in place. The larval form is not capable of feeding, though it may have a rudimentary digestive system, and is only a dispersal mechanism. Many physical changes occur to the tunicate's body during metamorphosis, one of the most significant being the reduction of the cerebral ganglion, which controls movement and is the equivalent of the vertebrate brain. From this comes the common saying that the sea squirt eats its own brain. However, the adult does possess a cerebral ganglion adapted to lack of self-locomotion. In the Thalassae, I don't know, the larval stage is rudimentary or suppressed, and the adults are pelagic, swimming or drifting in the open sea. Colonial forms also increase the size of the colony by budding off new individuals to share the same tunic. Pyrosome colonies grow by budding off new zooids near the posterior end of the colony. Sexual reproduction starts with a zooid with an internally fertilized egg. This is getting heady again. I'll just keep reading. This develops directly into an oozoid, without any intervening larval form. This buds precociously to form four blastozoids. I recognize that name, which become detached in a single unit when the oozoid disintegrates. The atrial siphon of the oozoid becomes the exhalant siphon for the new four-zooid colony. Do- Doliolo- Doliolids Doliolids have a very complex life cycle that includes various. Okay, this is going to get too complicated. I wanted to look at these little anatomies of the larval form. Here's the statocyst. Their little uh, was that the thing that helps with locomotion? What was it? Statocyst is the balancing organ. So that's their balancing organ. Cerebral vesicle? I don't know. The ocellus, or the eye there. Branchial siphon is blocked. Adhesive papillae, I guess that's how it ends up connecting itself to the ground. Brachial sac, their pharynx. A heart, intestine, a stomach, nerve cord, notochord. Okay. And that is not unsettling at all. Oh, so that's a frog, and here's the Ascidian. So they do kind of resemble the tadpole, quite effectively actually. Okay, we have to move. There's something on promotion of outcrossing. If that means something to you, great. A model tunicate, great. Invasive species. Here, we'll read this. Over the past few decades, tunicates, notably of the genera Didymnum and Styla, have been invading coastal waters in many countries. The carpet tunicate Didymnum vexillum has taken over a 6.5 square mile area of the seabed of the Georges Bank off the northeast coast of North America, covering stones, mollusks, and other stationary objects in a dense mat. This is not actually that interesting here. Another couple species have appeared and are thriving in Puget Sound. Puget? I don't remember. And Hood Canal in the Pacific Northwest. Invasive tunicates usually arrive as fouling organisms on the hull of ships, but may also be introduced as larvae in ballast water. Okay. Medical uses. They have a host of potentially useful chemical compounds, including plitidepsin, a didemnin effective against various types of cancer, as of late January 2021, undergoing phase 3 trials as a treatment for COVID-19, and trabectedin, an FDA-approved anti-cancer drug. Tunicates are able to correct their own cellular abnormalities over a series of generations, and a similar regenerative process may be possible for humans. The mechanisms underlying the phenomenon may lead to insights about the potential of cells and tissues to be reprogrammed and to regenerate compromised human organisms. As food here, various acidity species are consumed as food around the world. The Pura cailenensis, oh my god, are used in the cuisine of Chile, both raw and in seafood stews. Let's look at that picture real quick. Yeah, that thing's nasty looking. Yeah. And that is on a bed of clams. Great. Come on, load. There we go. My goodness, this is so lengthy. As food. So great. People eat it. Sea pineapple. It is cultivated on dangling cords made of palm fronds. And in 1994, over 42,000 tons were produced. But since then, mass mortality events have occurred among the farmed sea squirts, the tunics becoming soft, and only 4,500 tons were produced in 2004. Other uses. The use of tunicates as a source of biofuel is being researched. The cellulose body wall can be broken down and converted into ethanol, and other parts of the animal are protein-rich and can be converted into fish feed. Culturing tunicates on a large scale may be possible, and the economics of doing so are attractive. Okay, that has hints of humans doing as humans do and screwing everything up everywhere. Let's look at some pictures real quick just to make this a fine enough wrap up. Colonial tunicate with multiple openings in a single tunic. This is such wild stuff. And it's way too complicated. At least way too complicated for just casually reading through a Wikipedia article. But they're pretty. Yeah, like what I wanted when I clicked on this article was like one species, not a whole subphylum. One species just saying like, oh look, they're pretty white and green dudes, which these guys are incredibly pretty. And I just wanted like simple stuff. Like just give me some fun little facts about it, not all this different. I don't know everything. It's just so many new words, and it's so complicated. It's not good content. Not that I care really about content. This is for sale at a market in Busan, South Korea. Cool. That looks like the last picture. Maybe someday, years from now, hopefully, I'll do it on do a reading of the actual Ascidians, because that seems like what I actually wanted to look at. Granted, this still looks complicated. I don't know. We'll see. Until then, this may be all for today. Goodbye.